How I feel about this is really important. So, if you don't understand, you probably should just not comment on this particular video because, you know how, everybody has that one thing that they want to argue about? This is probably in the top five for me. So, I'm willing to tussle. That's all I'm saying. But let's get right into it. For those of you who don't know, I am Donquita Clements. Literally, that's my name. That's my brand. Um, and today we're talking about why generational wealth is super, super, super important to me. And you're gonna get to learn a little bit about my story and do with it what you must, right? Um, so before I get started, just a little bit of background. I'm a mother of five. I'm a wife. I'm God fearing. I am a new content creator slash old content creator. What that means for me is I've had content sitting for years, not knowing what to do with it. But now that God is saying go, I'm being obedient. Period. So why is generational wealth important to me? Growing up, I had so many questions. Hmm. And I'm talking the burning in my womb would never go away about why certain things were the way they were. Fast forward to current. I found out why that burning was there. A few years ago, it was revealed to me that I come from a place that was taken away. I'm not going to name names until I get through a couple of legalities, but I come from a place where I would use the term Black people were erased. Yep. Excuse me. And it was horrible. And it's not a lot that I can put into words without being emotional. But just know I grew up wondering why, what, how come. And I was always made to feel like I was, too curious or, wouldn't leave well enough alone. And then I got grown and I realized that I was right all along, and it sucks. And like I said, later down the line, you'll learn more about that story. Um, but because of what happened to my family in particular, is why generational wealth is so important to me because I grew up in a way that a child shouldn't have to. I was forced to endure so many things that as I got older, like I said, I was able to pinpoint the why, the who, the what, behind struggling. Living in poverty was not a destiny for me. But other people saw fit that that's where my family belonged. And now that I am an adult, I am taking whatever measures possible to get that story told properly, truthfully, by the way. And one of the things I'm doing to aid and assist in that is I'm having um, these type of talks. I'm doing workshops. We're throwing events. I'm the executive director for Frontline Millionaires University. We have a financial literacy forum coming up on Saturday at the Hampton Roads Convention Center. And I highly recommend you all get your tickets and be there because things that happen to people like my family won't happen if you understand the knowledge and the how to behind financial literacy, period. If you can get the basics down, I think you would probably save 10 generations. That's just my opinion. Because generational wealth, in my opinion, is not just life insurance. If you know me and you're a part of my platform and you know me in real life, you know that I'm always talking about generational wealth is not just life insurance. It's about you know, the experience we plan to leave for the people we plan to leave behind, because your kids don't need any more generational debt because you bought a really big house but you know you couldn't afford it. Your children shouldn't have to be hounded by the debt collectors because you had so much consumer debt, once you passed on. And I know there's this theory like, oh, dead people can't pay debt. You'll be surprised how many debits will hit a bank account. You know, you will be surprised what probates look like. It can be in a state that has billions, and all the bills that were owed will get paid before your family gets that money. Like, not knowing the ins and outs of, estate planning and a trust, and the difference between a pour over will and a will and testament, and not understanding credit and how to use other people's money, and wealth building as means of real estate. Because people always say, oh, well, just buy a house, buy a house. Can you afford a house? And if you can, do you need to buy the house that you can afford? We don't talk about that enough, and on this platform we will. The goal is to break those generational curses and generational cycles around things that we are taught are okay, but really they're not. We're constantly put in position where we are repeating things that really don't make sense, but it's what we know. You know, that's my husband's shadow, by the way. There's not a ghost in here. He's trying to be very quiet, but that's him walking in the shadows. But I'm telling y'all, there's so many ways that we could be building wealth, not just for your generation, but like you can be planning right now. Like, I'm 34 and I already think about 3 generations down. Like, my great 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 grandkids will be okay because of the moves I make now at 34, because of the knowledge I'm going to pour into my children, and they're going to pour into their children, and it only gets better. For all you mommies out there, remember that the moment you have a daughter, every child she produces from that point on, from a mitochondria standpoint, has some of you in it. Same for you fathers out there. Your DNA will forever run through that bloodline, and you should take that very serious. I'm sorry. My work phone never stops, as you hear. But it's truly, truly important that we get together and we just grow our knowledge, and we just take the time to figure out what's important. You know, I told you they don't stop. Sorry, I'm gonna put on vibrate. It's live. But like I said, generational wealth is super important because, like, I know what I want my kids' future to look like. I know what I want my grandchildren to have. I know what I want their children to have. And I know I won't have a direct say so, but I can pave the way. You know what I'm saying? I can set the foundation. I can ensure that my children are not like scrambling when I do pass, because it's inevitable, right? I will have things in place. Like, I'm so serious, I plan to write my own obituary. Like, I'm everything you need. I have this vision of putting it in one of those glass boxes, and I want to, break in case of death. In that will be everything, every policy, every trust, like a time capsule type of thing. We joke about it with the schools and all that, but I'm talking real life. Like, when I pass away, I want you to be able to grieve properly. I don't want you having to look through the floor, look under the mattress, calling this agency, calling that agency. That stuff is horrible. Like, because I've been in that space, like watching people go through probate, people end up in foreclosure. You leave me 2 houses, but they're not paid off. Your life insurance policy should have triggered to pay the house off and then give me what's left, so that I can continue in that real estate generational wealth that people love to talk about, but they don't really explain the steps. I'm one of those people that want to break it down to the ridiculous. I want you to know step by step by step by step. Like I tell my kids, run the play. You cannot run the play if you can't read the playbook. It's just like a musician. You can do magic on instruments, but if you've never read sheet music, you feel like you're walking into quantum physics. And that's not what we need for these generations. Like, they're innovative, they know technology. They are going to change the world in ways that we cannot even imagine, and we won't even be here to see it. But we can make sure that they have what they need right now. And I'm telling y'all, like, when I say it's so important to me, because why would you want your kids to struggle? And I'm not coming for the people who may not have thought this way at first, but I feel like in my position, particularly, like I told you, I'm God-fearing, so I'm switching my hat. I don't feel like God put me here to do the same things that my ancestors were forced to do. I feel like I'm their wildest dream. 'Cause I'm coming, and I'm coming strong, and I'm raising up a nation that will just simply understand the power of a dollar, the power of their pocketbook, collective economics, like what type of trades to get into if you really don't wanna go to college, and if you do get your degree, how to leverage it, because it's too many people out here paying hundreds of thousands for school and not even making hundreds of thousands a year once they get that degree. That's not smart. Education is amazing. I will always promote it, but there are definitely alternative ways, like scholarships, to pay for that degree. Please stop letting these people give our babies loans that they're trying to pay off until they're 60. And then we're going to the political places and we're asking them for all this help. And then when they tell us we can't have something, we about to throw a fit. But it's our job to take care of our own. And I'm not one of those people that care about color. I'm not one of those people that care about class. I'm one of those people that understand, because I've been afforded to go so many places and in different spaces to learn that green is all they care about. They don't care if you're white, black, blue, brown, or orange. They don't care where you live. They want to know how much money you make, and can you help them make more, or can they take some of it from you? It's not hard to kind of, put two and two together after a while, because economics is all that matters in the economy. Everything has a dip, everything has a rise, and that cycle just repeats itself. The stock market always crashes. It's only a matter of time before real estate goes up or goes down. It's literally a cycle. It does not stop. So if you can comprehend what that cycle is, aka financial literacy, you can definitely get the keys to generational wealth. You can get with the proper people to learn. Instead of buying a $200,000 house and you don't have $200,000, you can buy a $500 house and have somebody put less money than 200,000 in it to make it livable, simply by going to a tax deed auction, not a tax lien auction. A tax deed and a tax lien are two totally different things, and they don't be explaining that to y'all on the internet either. When I say I done turned over every stone you can think of to make sure that my grandchildren and my children got what they need, I promise you I have. So it's so many people that are giving out information based off the one set of things that they heard or they read or they saw in the video, but we're not taking the time to do our own research. We're not reading backwards. We're not understanding the federal processes, because when it all comes down to it, look at what we're going through right now. Trump, quote unquote, is not allowed to do what he's doing, but he's doing it. That should just let you know right there, like, if he wasn't allowed, then how come? It's happening, right? That's your proof. It's a whole lot of people who think they control a whole lot of stuff. Why not get in control of ourselves, right? Why not get with the right people, talk to the right people, have the right understanding of the right things, educate the right people as well, aka our children, so that we don't keep running into these type of snacks, because the whole world is in a frenzy. But should they be? If we knew that we've been through depressions, recessions, we've been to, economic blackouts, we're not gonna buy this. Like, look at the Ford story. If you haven't looked that up, that is a great, great representation of understanding collective economics and financial literacy and generational wealth. It is the only business that didn't go out of business at that time. You know why? Because we got together and we put our money where we were appreciated. We put our money where we were cared about. Where everybody else was tanking, they didn't. And am I saying it wrong? It's either Ford or Cadillac. Don't quote me, y'all, but go look it up. You'll see. This is live. Like I told y'all, it's raw and uncut. If something wrong, get in the comments and correct me, help me out. Don't throw me a lash, but send me a raft. But I like I said, money is not a means, it's a tool. And I don't feel like people talk about that part enough. Oh, we gotta get to the bag, we gotta get to the bag. Get to the bag and do what? After you get the bag, then what? Are you keeping the bag? Are you saving the bag? Are you putting some to the side? Are you dividing it? Are you flipping it? I mean, what exactly? Because once you get $1 and you spend it, it make change. What type of change are you making? We need to start talking about the different types of wealth because there's several. We hear real estate too much. I'm sorry. Like, it's too many ways to make money other than real estate. And I'm going to tell you quickly, get your home. Yes, but get you some land too. Because most of y'all is buying a house on rented land. It don't make sense because if they ever come down there and take the land, now you don't have no house. Eminent domain. Look it up. Don't believe me. Do your own research like I always tell y'all. Generational wealth is super important to me because I want to see the next generation not struggle like we struggle. Like, they're talking about getting away from the dollar. And we got people who still don't know how to use a computer. Not them kids, though. Them kids, they can walk you all through in and out of a desktop, cell phone, laptop, tablet, TV. Listen, they almost engineers while y'all playing. Like, we really have to take the time to empower them and encourage them. Like, it's super important. I'm telling y'all, like, I be so shocked when I meet kids, like, at the Boys and Girls Club or at a middle school or high school, even the college students. I was with 2 interns today and I was just like blown away at their ideas. I don't care who you are. You should always be teachable. There's too many bankers looking for you to learn and become educated. There's too many people willing to sit down with you and help you learn investing. Investing is not even as hard as people think. But we get taught, oh, stay away from that. Oh, the risk. What's the risk without reward? Like, you cannot keep thinking you're gonna just save your money. Sorry, y'all. That's my husband again. You cannot think you're just gonna keep putting your money in the bank account and that 0.2% is gonna make you billions. Are you out of your mind? I'm just saying, I'm just here to make you think a little bit differently than you already do. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead. What's the new one? I'm gonna get self. Okay, after you get self, what you gonna do with the money you was paying self for all the months? Cause self gonna get that money back. Are you gonna go put it in a high yield savings account? Are you gonna go get you a Roth? Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy some stock in the things you buy every single day? Hmm. Yes, Natalie, you can come in. As y'all know, this is live, and there's my 5-year-old who always comes into the videos. Miss you, Mom. Miss you too, Natalie. It's only been 19 minutes and 28 seconds. I'm telling them why generational wealth is important to me. This is another reason generational wealth is important to me, because I want my Natalie to be able to get whatever she wants out of life so she can continue to shake her beads all in the microphone. Right? Exactly. But y'all, that's just the long and short of it. I didn't want this to be long, but y'all know me. I can get going. Baby, this is a topic I like. That's why I said, if you do not understand, this is like my top 5 argument comments. I mean, my top 5 argument topics. So it wouldn't be smart to be like, there's no such thing as generational wealth. Y'all always talking about financial literacy. Oh, baby, we gonna tussle in the comments over this, because I'm gonna tell you every time, like, yes, there is a such thing as generational wealth. Natalie, can I finish my video, please? Thank you. Well, as y'all see, I'm a mom. I told y'all 25/8, homeschool mom at that. And yeah, it's too many pieces of content in America where people act like everything's perfect and they don't have absolutely no flaws. And I don't want to silence my children. I try to shut my door, but if they say, "Can I come in?" I'm gonna say yes. If they're hungry, they're gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, just be mindful, of what you're feeding yourself mentally, what you're feeding yourself financially, what you're feeding yourself spiritually, most importantly, because with God, you can do all things. Y'all know how I be feeling about that. And y'all need to start consulting with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, about your money. I know y'all be mad at church. Oh Lord, they asking for the offerings and da 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 da. But what else do you tithe and offer to? What else are your habits? See, church is every Sunday for some people, every Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, whatever. But what are you pouring your money into on a regular basis? If it ain't the church, where is it going? And keep note of that. Making sure okay, I spend 30% of my money here or 40% of my money there. Like, people get so tired of hearing budget, budget, budget. But like, you probably should budget if you don't have a good handle on your things. You know, it won't hurt you. It won't hurt you to know. Because I bet you one thing, the government know. Every time you swipe that card, every time you go to do an ACH from that bank account, they watching, they hearing, they seeing, they keeping track of it at the IRS. Every time you file your taxes, that's all data. You know why they get that data? So they can figure out how to make you spend more of that money into their economy. They got fair spending. They got this, storm spending. They got holiday spending. It's all about spending. And we fall victim to it every time. I mean, I ain't saying don't ever shop anywhere, but be mindful of where you're shopping and how you're shopping. And if you shop there already, you probably want to own some stock if you shop there frequently. That's all I'm saying. It's just something to think about. Like, I just wanted y'all to know why it was important to me. Like, it's important because I really do care about the experience my kids are going to have when I'm gone. Like I said, I don't come from what I preach about. I had to make it here. I earned this position. It's only God that I'm here. Like, every day, I thank God because I'm like, whoa, what are the odds that you chose me to teach this topic or to make people aware of this topic or to sound the alarm, because I could be doing anything. I'd be hanging from the chandelier. Instead, I'm pouring into children. I'm pouring into adults. I'm trying to teach people how to get different means of funding into their lives with the least amount of stress and work possible. Like, I know we can work hard, but should we be working hard after a certain age? I don't want to be 80 years old working. That's not generational wealth to me. I want my grandkids to see grandma for a long time. I want to be, you know, not broke down, busted, and disgusted. The only way to do that, if I'm investing early, I can chill later. Retirement is also a form of generational wealth. If you do keep the job and you get together with your company and you figure out what their matching plans is and read the fine print, because a lot of the times we're learning at the last minute that when you're ready to leave and you trying to take that money, they gonna take so many fees you ain't gonna have no money left. Part of financial literacy. It can make or break your generational wealth. You could work somewhere forever. Oh, I get $200,000. My family gonna be good, but the policy say we need 98% of the policy when they die. Did you read it? Reading is fundamental. I'm going on a tangent. Like, I just want y'all to understand why this. Like I said, we having an event about it, and we bringing out all your local favorites. that talk wealth, whether it be real estate, crypto, stock market, marketing, vending. Like, you got wholesalers, you got property flippers, you got so many different types of wealth. Speaking engagements, speaking can make you wealthy. Coaching, sports, like we got a couple of celebrities coming in the building. Like, you can't lose from coming to the Financially Motivated and Unstoppable Forum featuring Earn Your Leisure. I'm saying that last one for a reason, because I don't want it to only be about them, but they will be there because they care about this mission that we're trying to partake in. Like, again, it's only God that I can sit here and tell you that this is something that is happening in the city that I live in. The area, Hampton Roads, period, is so crazy. The Hampton Roads Convention Center and the Hampton Coliseum, they get so many things. Um, and I feel like the people in my community, we're being very intentional about what we bring. Like, we can bring out another rap star, we can bring out another celebrity, but let's teach you something. And your kids are free. I mean, who doesn't want their kids to be free? Like, hello? High schoolers who are about to walk into college and be stuck for a little bit, whether you like it or not, you're stuck in school. Once you sign up, if you try to quit, you got to pay money. Part of financial literacy, part of generational wealth. Like, these are the things that we have to teach our kids. We can't just be like, oh, well, get a job, go to college, that's it. I think that stopped working a little long time ago. So can we talk about something else? Because what about the kids who don't want to go to college? What about the kids who are creatives? Because they don't want to work, go to school, or be in none of your boxes. So what about them? How are we appealing to that said crowd? Like, I feel like everybody should have access to this information. Everybody should have, some level or form of understanding of what this experience looks like. Like, okay, nobody likes to talk about death. I know it's uncomfortable, but what if we change the narrative from death to legacy? Like I said, it's an experience for the people you plan to leave behind. You're leaving them regardless, whether it's by tragedy or by natural causes, you're leaving. In said leaving, why not do the right thing and make sure they got what they need? Like, policies are cool, but are they the right policies? Do you have the right type of life insurance? Do you know that some life insurance you can use while alive? Are we having the talks? Are we breaking it down to the ridiculous? No. Are our children learning these things in school? No. Not because they can't. I won't even finish that statement because I don't want to be controversial today. I did good today. This has been a whole almost 30 minutes and I ain't cussed or nothing. So I'm proud of myself. But y'all, I'm a firm believer that God gonna get it in front of the right people. I just told myself that I would start, being a little bit more intentional, coming up here at night when I know y'all are, looking at the lives, and I can take this and I'm gonna turn it into more content because, like y'all know, I'm a very, very big advocate of AI. That's another form of generational wealth, like understanding technology and making sure that you get with it and not let it get you. So yeah, just that's really it for tonight. Like I said, it was a random. I said, let's just chat about money. Money is important. Money is a tool, not a means. If you didn't learn nothing, these are the things I said. If you're going to catch the recap, money's a tool, not a means. It should be used as such. You should not be out here depending on money. Your money should be working for you. You should not be working for your money. I know it doesn't start that way, but once you learn the right things, possibilities are endless. You can buy a house at 18. That should tell you a lot. You can co-sign for your kid to get a house at 18. That's generational wealth. And you can pay the mortgage. They don't even gotta touch it. You can get a 504 plan and use it on several things. It don't just have to be college. Okay? If you pass on, you can make sure that your paperwork says, hey, when I pass, my house will be paid off first to its entirety. $0 left. All your people will have to worry about is the taxes, generational wealth. If you know you're not ready to go after your big luxury mansion because your first house don't have to be your last house, start buying up some of these tax deed properties. They give you the deed, a quick claim deed puts the property in your name immediately, 100%. 100%. You can learn crypto, you can learn so many things. Like, here's something the craziest thing I ever made money off of was emotional intelligence. Like, I know that sounds so crazy, but I made money from simply learning emotional intelligence and teaching people that they should be emotionally intelligent. The moment you reach that space, you learn that it has a lot to do with your wealth as well, because we don't know what we don't know. And we respond how we respond based off of what we've been through and what we've been exposed to. So when you start bringing wealth and knowledge and all that into one conversation, you get a shift. So a few years ago, I started doing this program called Shift, and I started with all the Bible, not all, but a lot of the Bible verses that talks about money. Um, and then after learning about said Bible verses and how I could apply them to life, I made this little packet, and I invited people out, and we did a couple of Zooms, and we did a couple of in persons, and now it's a full-fledged thing that I want to start actually doing with my family. This year will be the first one that we do as a family because I want us to be great. I'm gonna go, y'all, because my husband trying to show me food. Sorry. Have a good day.